Hi everyone, I am going to do this page here. This is from Magical Dawn by Hanna Karlzon, and I just wanted something that would make up a short series, and I thought each one of these and then perhaps a background, I haven't completely decided yet, would make quite a good little video series. So I'm going to start with this one today, and then that one tomorrow, that one the next day, and then potentially a background the day after. So I'm going to come in a little closer. My battery is playing up on my camera, so that's good. I'm going to start with the chain. Now I'm using my Black Widow's pencils because they sharpen to a lovely sharp point, which is exactly what I need for this picture. But within my Black Widows, actually I think I've just found the perfect colour. I have very few greys that aren't brown, but I've just found one. So we're going to use this. This is called Greythorn, and it's from the skin tone set, the dark skin tone set actually. It's got quite a purpley tint to it, as you can see from the base, but I think it will work as a silver. For silver we need a cold grey, and most of the others that I've got, well all of the others I've got, there aren't many. There's the spider web, the dim grey and the charcoal within the sets that I've got. I've only got the spider set, the scorpion set, the cobra set and the 2 skin tones. So there might be more in the there's the one with the stag and the one with the dragon. I don't know, monarch, that's it. But anyway, we're going to use this Greythorn. Now, we've got quite a lot of chain. I'm going to come in even closer because it's very fine. I'm sorry about the snake on the other page. If you're scared of snakes, I'm not very happy with it either. I'm going to have to colour it at some point. Okay, let's start up here. I just put my hand on his face. Anyway, I will have to deal with it. So for a chain, what I tend to do is layer it up a little bit there and then a bit less towards the centre, and leave a little gap. For silver or any sort of metal, always leave a gap, and then it looks like you've got a bit of shine. You can see it more on that one. I didn't do it so well on this one. And so I'm going to work through the whole chain doing the same thing. It's really simple. If you've got a larger area, then you might want to do several different colours. You know, I quite like adding a black in because it gives quite a nice contrast of shadow. But with such a little area as this chain, I don't think in these little places, I just don't think there's room for black to sort of fit it all in. And you could try if you've got a really sharp black and lots of patience, but I'm just going to keep it simple with the grey. And I think this grey is actually just the perfect colour for a metallic. It just seems to be going down really nicely, looking how I wanted. If you don't have Black Widows, use any cold grey that you might have in your sets. If you've got Castle Arts, for example, there are cold greys actually labelled. The cold grey deep is actually a very good silvery grey. If you've got your polychromos, you've also got your cold greys. I would go like cold grey 4, something like that. What else might you have? Prismas has got cold greys. I can't number them. Cool greys, maybe they're called. And most other sets do as well. They're not always called cold. If you swatch them, you can tell if they're slightly more bluey or purpley rather than brown. So you would want a sort of Payne's grey, or as I say, it might just be called cold grey. And those work much better. And it can be tempting if you've got like a metallic silver pencil to use that. To some extent it'll work. I would still leave the white gap to look like shine, even though you've got the silver in there. And you could use a silver pen. I just don't find they're quite as... I don't always like mixing actual reflective type media with normal pencils. Sometimes it works really well. It just depends what you're trying to achieve. And for this picture, I'm just happy with using just pencils for this particular bit anyway. I may change my mind when I come to the pendants and the other chains, you know. I keep open-minded. I don't want to limit myself, but for this chain I'm happy with this. I'm just trying to see how far down we're going to go before. I'm doing quite well in remembering to move the book so you can see what I'm doing. I'm always very good at that. You might have to keep resharpening your pencil if you're using a brand that blunts quite quickly. So if you're using a very soft pencil, like I'm going to resharpen now. If you're using a really soft pencil like a Castle Arts Gold or a Arteza Expert or a Prisma, a Holbein, something like that, you might have to resharpen just to keep within the lines. I mean, I'm not that fussy in particular about staying within the lines, but it's still, you know, you don't want to be too far out, and also you want to be able to get right in there, so it's a little bit easier with a sharper pencil. I find that to be the case anyway. How far down? Let's match up this side. Now, if you find this a bit too monotonous when you're colouring it, you can always do a little bit, do half, and then do your pendant at the bottom, and then come back and do the other half after. You don't have to do it all in one go like I am. Just going to move it up a bit more. There we go. And then we'll come to an end of the chain. I personally find it easier to stick to one bit at a time, just because it's a little bit quicker than keep chopping and changing colour, but also I then don't forget what I've used. There's always a risk, and if I might end up having to write down what pencils I've used for different bits, which is what I do when I'm making a video. But if well, I don't write down what I've used for what bits usually, but it's definitely much quicker not to have to do that. You know, if I've done like a mandala and I've done a bit of it, I do have to keep a note of exactly what I've been doing, and it can be a little bit tiresome. It's easier just to do the whole bit. I mean, you could just leave the pencil out on the side if you're only using one. If you're using a selection of colours, it gets a little bit more complex. Right, I'm just going to look up and down to make sure I've done every link, and I have, so that's good. And here we have, oh, my pencils are in the way, bear with me a minute. We have our little pendant to do, a little bit close. Let's come out just a tad, there we go. Then we can see this part at the top. So we've got a hook on the lid, and then the lid, and then we've got a container with magic in it. That's what I'm thinking it is anyway. So how are we going to approach this? Well, I think I'm going to keep to my silver just for this bit, because I think it matches in better. You know, you wouldn't suddenly hang a gold pendant on a silver chain, but I'm going to leave that there for now and then think about what to do with our bottle and its contents. I'm thinking maybe we might want some metallic or glitter pen on those stars and things to make them look a little bit more silvery, but we'll see. I'm thinking maybe a sort of galaxy type style mix of colour in there. I'm just going to grab a few colours. I've got this pastel purple in my Scorpion set. I've got a lovely dark purple, the grape, which is in the Cobra set. And we want that sort of blue and a light pink. We've got a nice, where's that one? Yeah, and that's a little bit dark. We'll go for this one, the Horizon blue, from Blue Horizon, sorry, from the Scorpion set. And then we need a light pink. I might just grab this one. This is the fancy pink from the Cobra. So I've got a collection of pencils. I will use them one by one and you will be able to keep up, I hope. So the fancy pink to start with, I'm going to do a few pink areas on here. Now the idea is to fade, so do a dark area here and then just fade the colour out around it. Like that. Oops. And do the same in a few patches across. I'm thinking it looks like sort of magic sand. What's that stuff you used to have? Oh, moon sand. My boys used to have that. Used to make such a mess on the floor, so I had this brainwave and thought, I know. This is the pastel purple from the Scorpion set. We'll play with it outside, I thought. Now we've got gravel in our garden, and when you spill moon sand on gravel, it just vanishes. We lost most of it. So, I didn't supervise completely well enough, I guess. Now the we might not need the grape, the blue horizon. Oh, sorry. Helps if you can see it, doesn't it? I'm sorry. This is quite dark, but I think it'll be okay. Especially when we pop the grape in, so I'm not going to do too much. There we go. And then grab the grape. Grab a grape. Yum, yum, yum. And then just pop this in here. It can go quite dark if you layer it up. Now you notice I've left this rim around, which has been drawn around the edge of our bottle. I'm thinking we'll leave that there to make the bottle look more glassy. Now we're going to do the lid and then we'll worry about the glass. Well, I won't worry. Hopefully you won't need to either. So I want a really dark blue, I think, for this little stone up here. And I found this one called Galaxy Blue in the Scorpion set. I'm just going to give it a sharpen though. There we go. And I'm going to do this sort of top stone here. Make it quite dark here and here. Try and have a little bit of lighter blue in the middle. It's a little bit tricky. Such a small bit, but there we go. Hopefully it looks a bit more spherical. And I'm thinking I might put that blue in the centre of these. Now ideally I'd like to go around the edge, so in a darker layer, so that they look like they're sticking out, but I don't think I can achieve that, so I'm just going to block them in. We'll use some white pen at the end to just add a shine, I think. Now I don't think I want to, I could do some silver edging, but I think I'd quite like to add a bit more colour. I'd quite like a deep pink. What have we got? We've got the plum pudding, but that is bleeds into, what else have we got? I haven't tested those. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do a purple. Maybe we'll do the space. Whoop, where are you? We'll do this purple instead. This is space. And I'm thinking, do each of these as if they're a little square gemstone. I'm going to have to sharpen up my pencil a bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. Oh, I've just broken it. I over sharpened it. I thought I'll just get one more bit out to get it really sharp. No, you won't. Now it's stuck in the sharpener, of course. I just got another pencil to poke it out. Sorry, this isn't awfully entertaining, is it? I always find it quite disconcerting when you look at the pencil sharpenings from these, because the wood is black, so the sharpenings are black. It always looks a little bit strange. There we go. Right, so the idea is to go dark around the edge like that, lots of layers. I've done about 5 or 6, and then a bit less in the centre, and hopefully it'll look a bit like it shiny. Just heard a noise outside. I was trying to work out what it was. No idea. I'm thinking maybe the rest of this we could make it look like a metallic pink. I really don't know if I can pull that off. I'm going to give it a try. I am going to use this plum pudding, which I've got a bit of washi tape on the end to remind me that I can't put white on it because it bleeds into white. But my plan is to leave the white so I don't have to put white pen on it. Sorry, got lots of pencil sharpenings everywhere. I've been very messy. Right, so here we go, plum pudding. If you didn't catch which sets these are from, it'll be in my description. I'll try and split it up by set. So I've just left a white shine line in the middle there. I'm going to do the same on this one. And then on these, I think I'll leave it at the bottom. Just try and fade it towards that bottom of that curve. Like that. I think it certainly stands out. There we go. Now the actual bottle, the glass, I do have a very light grey. I don't know if this is brown. I'm just going to swatch it. Oh, that's very brown. That's no good at all. See, glass I quite like to do a light blue, something like that sometimes, or a light grey. We could go back to our grey. I think we're going to have to, because I don't think I've got any other colour. Oh, what about that? Hang on. Brown fog. That sounds like it's going to be brown. Yeah. Right. We're going to go back to the greythorn and use it for the glass. So we're going to keep leaving this white line and just go along here where we've been told to, and then just gently fade it to, now here we're going to have to guess because we don't have a line, and just bring that in. So we've got a sort of shine line in the middle where the glass be catching the light, like that. Okay, now we're going to use some pens. So I did say I don't like mixing pencil and pen always, but for the stars and the circles I think it was good. So I've got my, oh you can't see, sorry, let's get in a bit, a stardust glitter. I'm going to grab the silver, and then the stardust metallic, and I'm also going to grab this, oh nope, I'm going to do, I've changed my mind, so I'm not going to use glitter because it's going to be really messy. I'm going to use metallic, and we've got a black and a silver. I'm going to use the black for the circles and the silver for the stars, and we need some white as well. I'm going to grab my Sakura white jelly roll, if I can find it. There it is. Oops. I just knocked a bottle of fixative. So I'm going to use the white first, and I'm going to use it on this blue here, just there, and then on each of these. So I've gone on the right hand side on the right hand ones, and the left hand side on the left hand ones, like that, just to try and make it look a bit shiny. Now on our bottle, I'm going to try and make this look shiny in a slightly different way. I'm just looking for the right pencil. Here we go. The white pencil. This is called Casper. And what I want to do is fade this black line. So I'm going to cut over it with white, because it's a glass. It's glass. But you need to see that there's a line there, I feel, personally. So I don't want to blank it out with a white pen. because we've got no background at the moment. I think I will do a background, but at the moment there's nothing. And if you choose not to, it just dulls it down a bit. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, that is dulled down, because I can still see it quite dark in my camera, even though it doesn't look as dark on my book. But I really can't tell the difference. It's definitely a lot lighter here than on these. Right, let's get on with some metallic. So this is the black metallic. It's hashtag 549 if you're looking for it. It is in the Jelly Roll Metallic Shiny set, but you can buy them individually. And I'm going to do all of our circles with this. Now the reason I decided not to do glitter is because glitter does transfer to other things. It can be a bit messy, and as I haven't done the facing page, it'll get covered in glitter, which is okay, but not for me today. And then the silver one, which is number 553. It's nearly run out, look at that. I do have a spare, I think. I need to check. I do have a silver Posca pen anyway that I could use if necessary. There we go. Now my last job is a few little touches. So first of all, I've noticed that my blue doesn't go all the way up to the edge of this star. So I'm just going to tidy that up there. And the purple needs touching up as well. Just there. Then I'm going to do some dots. I'm going to use the white again. And now in this pot we've got lots of black dots. I'm going to cover them with white. They won't show up everywhere because it depends on the colour of the pencil underneath. The lighter the colour, the less likely it is to show up. I am going to cover all those black dots, and then I'm going to put in some more, quite a lot. In fact, the bigger you make them, the more visible they are. And they're more visible over colour that's more intense or darker. I guess that's quite obvious. But there we go. You could put a shine mark on the metallic pen. I'm really tempted. So if it's not catching the light, it still looks shiny. I've never done this before. I don't know how much it shows up on the screen. Okay, so there is our first one. I'm going to oh, wrong way. Come back out, sorry. I need to go and get a battery for my remote control. Just trying to lower it. Oh, I think that's enough. There we go. So you can see the whole thing. Let's just, I find if I tip up the page, so the light is a little better. So that is our finished first one, and we're going to do this one tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a really super day, and happy colouring.